Welcome, everyone. My name is Reina-Shay Broussard, and this is the Literary Arts Hour of the Up Convergence 2020, and we are in the Co-Creators Convergence Zoom room. Thank you all for joining me. Today, we have a spirit spot on the theme of community, which I think is one way we can support unity and peace in ourselves and in our world. Then we have a beautiful song by Evie Layden, and then the Writing from the Heart, a group writing experience with Dena DeLuco, which I'm very excited about. And we will start with the Spirit Spot.
Welcome to the Spirit Spot. My name is Reina-Shay Broussard, and it's my hope to help guide you into your spirit spot, even if just for a few moments out of your day. I invite you to set aside whatever you have before you, if you're able, and we'll begin with 3 conscious breaths. Breathe in through your nose, slowly, evenly, deeply, filling your belly, and breathe out through your mouth, emptying your belly. And breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Our touchstone for today is community. I believe that the true reality of our existence is that we are all one. We are all part of one divine being. And so because of this, we cannot separate these ideas of the sacred from community. Only when we have peace and connection among all in our universal community will we also know the peace of the sacred. Our reading today comes from One River, Many Wells, Wisdom Springing from Global Faiths, by Matthew Fox. African-American mystic and theologian Howard Thurman speaks often and eloquently of the primacy of community. He perceives the struggle between good and evil as being very much a struggle between community and lack of it. The loneliness of the seeker for community is sometimes unendurable, he warns us. Thurman explains Adam's fall as being his loss of a sense of community with the rest of creation. The fall is a fall away from the community of all creation with one another. Thurman believes that both the Genesis creation story and the creation story of the Hopi people tell the story of the climate of community in which our species began and to which we yearn to return. We are always seeking a return to our beginnings, a healing and redemptive community. But the community which we yearn for is a full community, one that includes all God's creation, not just a segregated one of human dwellers alone. When this community is torn asunder, awful things happen to the human psyche. Thurman actually defines sin as our being outside community. In community, the citizen receives an integrated basis for his behavior, so that there is always at hand a socially accepted judgment that can determine for him when he is lost, when he has missed the way, that is, when he is out of community. Humanity, he says, would never accept the absence of community as his destiny. Man has lost this dimension in his journey. He has sinned and missed the way. Community, by definition, includes all our kin. Therefore, it embraces the cosmic relationships of all creation. We seek to belong. We long to be with others and to be part of their work, their drama. Thurman saw this when he warned us that the community cannot feed for long on itself. It can only flourish where always the boundaries are giving way to the coming of others from beyond them, unknown and undiscovered brothers. What we have sought, we have found, our own sense of identity. We have committed to heart and to nervous system a feeling of belonging, and our spirits are no longer isolated and afraid. We need to resist the will to separate ourselves behind self-imposed walls. For this is why we were born. Men, all men, belong to each other, and he who shuts himself away diminishes himself, and he who shuts another away from him destroys himself. The Dalai Lama laments the loss of community in modern life, a sense of community that rural and less consumer-driven societies cherished. Quote, "We have, in my view, created a society in which people find it harder and harder to show one another basic affection. In place of the sense of community and belonging, which we find such a reassuring feature of less wealthy and generally rural societies, we find a high degree of loneliness and alienation. Despite the fact that millions live in close proximity to one another, it seems that many people, especially among the old, have no one to talk to but their pets." Unquote. He calls us to the challenge of creating the same degree of harmony and tranquility as those more traditional communities, while benefiting fully from the material developments of the world as we find it today. Because of the truth of interdependence among all beings, we come to see that the habitual sharp distinction we make between self and others is an exaggeration. We come to see that there is no self-interest completely unrelated to others' interests. Due to the fundamental interconnectedness which lies at the heart of reality, your interest is also my interest. In other words, community already is. We need to remove the obstacles in us that prevent it from happening. Again, our touchstone for today is community. I invite you to pause throughout your day for 3 conscious breaths and to reflect on how you can find the sacred within your relationships and community. And may you create a great day.
Next, we have a song that I think fits with that theme, that sub-theme of community, by Evie Layden, and the polyrhythmic heat and funk of Evie Layden's clawhammer banjo, resonant voice, real stories, and rhythmic dance have been heard from a prairie home companion to Celtic connections, Lincoln Center to hardly strictly bluegrass. The Evie Layden Band is an expansive string band with Keith Terry on bass and percussion and Eric Pearson on guitar. Her music is body slapping, neo traditional, urban folk.
you ready? People, are you ready? People, are you ready? And don't you wanna go?
I hope that energy fits what Dena's going to do with us next. Um, I have a note. Noelle wants to say what an awesome reading that was. Thank you, Noelle. Next, we have Dena DeLuco. Everything you're looking for is inside you. Dena simply helps shine a light on it. If you're feeling stuck, in need of a boost in confidence, or prone to self-sabotage, like a few people can be, Dena's calm presence and massive toolbox can help you connect the dots. Transformation doesn't have to be hard or take a long time. A few of the tools she uses are neurolinguistic programming. She's a hypnotherapist and spiritual counselor. Uh, she uses meditation, and she's a Reiki master teacher. Dena's love and study of the healing arts, coupled with her knack for breaking down complex concepts into easily digestible bites, also make her the perfect combination to teach and train like minds. You can find her at evolving-door.com.
Thank you so much, Reina-Shay. This has been so beautiful. I had no idea what we were in for, and I love the reading and the song. Everything has just been so beautiful. So thank you, Noelle, and thank you, Reina-Shay, for having me here today.
You bet. I'm excited.
Me too. We're going to be doing a writing experience. So if you have or need to grab paper and pen or open up a Word doc is fine too. If you, some people like pen to paper, some people can do it right into the laptop. I can not usually, but sometimes I can. So I started doing the writing circle about 10 years ago, and there's just something magical that happens in the space. And when we come together and move from our thinking mind, from our head into our heart space. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little meditation just to kind of relax. We're already kind of in the zone, right? With Reina-Shay's intro and the breath work that we've already done, but we're going to take it a little bit deeper, and we're going to imagine going from our conscious mind, like our thinking mind, I call the blah blah mind, that's always, churning and moving, and we're going to drop down into our what I call the sacred heart. So it's super easy to do this, and then what happens is when we start writing, we kind of bounce back up into our head and, oh my gosh, did I put the clothes in the dryer? And then we, come back down to the heart space, and then you think of 1,000 things that you need to do. So we're going to anchor in the meditation, we're going to anchor. And what I typically do is I just kind of either touch and press right here in the high heart, or you can do a little tap. So that while you're writing, if you find that you're going into the blah blah mind, you can just you can press that or like a pulse, and do one breath, and it takes you it kind of sinks you right back down into that beautiful heart space. So we'll do a little meditation. We'll anchor that going into that heart space, and then I'll drop a topic. And the topic it's more of a directional indicator, something to get you started, and you let it take you wherever you want to go. And kind of the object of the game is to just keep writing. Like, you think you've run out of things, you haven't. Just keep writing. You don't worry about grammar, spelling, punctuation. You just keep on writing, and you'll feel like, oh, I wish she would say the time's up. And sometimes then you tap again, and it takes you down even deeper. And I really want to honor I'm looking at the co-creators logo. It's kind of this beautiful vortex that happens. So look around our room that we have together. And for those of you watching this later, you can still be a part of this vortex, just holding that intention to be in this space with us. So so we'll write for just a short amount of time, and then typically I'll open it up, and if you want to share, you can, and if you don't have to. So are there any questions? I'll be guiding you through the whole experience, but if anything's like, did I miss anything? Is anybody lost? Veronica, she's one of my, I think, writing circle originals from back in the day. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So I think we shall. Reina-Shay, did you have any questions before we dive in? All right, so we'll do as many as time allows. And we're just going to start with just a super simple meditation. So if you just close your eyes again and bring your focus to your breath and just watching the rise and fall, the effortless ebb and flow. Notice how silently the breath comes and how silently it goes. A little side note about the breath, we have around 20,000 breaths a day. That's a lot of breaths. And just think about how many do you really notice? How many breaths are you really present for? And I just invite you to be present for this one breath. And be present for this one breath. So just watching the breath. And noticing the in-breath at the tip of the nose, that cool sensation. Each time you breathe in, feeling that coolness. And now notice the out-breath. And it's a little more subtle than the in-breath, but feeling the out-breath on the upper lip. That subtle warmth. The air has gone into the body and been warmed. And you can just barely detect it on the top lip. And now placing your hand or your hands over your heart, your high heart. So between your actual heart and your throat, where your pendant might land. And just loosely in this space. Now imagine that there's a little portal, a little opening there that you can breathe in through this space. So you're just using your imagination and pretending that you can breathe in from your heart space. And imagine that as you breathe in, you can feel that coolness on your chest, just like you did on your nose a moment ago. So each time you breathe in, feeling that cool sensation. And as you breathe out, imagine that subtle warmth that you felt on the top lip, imagine that it touches the palm of your hand that's over your heart. You're just pretending, you're just making it up. And now noticing both the in-breath and the out-breath from the heart space. Inviting this openness, this spaciousness. And as Reina-Shay said at the beginning, we are all connected, and all the wisdom that anyone has is available to everyone. So just allowing yourself to be open to that wisdom. And once you feel like you're in the zone, go ahead and take maybe 2 fingers and just touch to your sacred heart or your high heart, and just anchoring in this beautiful connection to your heart space, to the oneness. So in a moment, and you can relax your hands. In a moment, I'm going to drop a topic. And again, it's just a directional marker. It's just a place to start. So just let it take you wherever it does. If you have 2 or 3 thoughts come at once, I always say, pick a horse and ride it. Just keep on riding. So whenever you notice that you've bounced back into your heart space or your head space or your thinking mind, you just touch again to your heart space, take 1 or 2 breaths, and just allow it to drop you right back in. So our first topic tonight is community. Community. So you just start writing. You don't worry about grammar, punctuation, or spelling. Keep pen or pencil to paper, or fingers to the keyboard. And I'll watch the time. I'll give you like a 1-minute warning. All right, another minute. And finishing up. All right. All right, so who would like to share what they wrote?
Um, there we go. Thank you for volunteering, Leanne.
Sure. I love going through this process with Dena. I've done it before, and this is a great topic. So this is what came through for me. Community is union of our hearts, our time, our energy. It is the co-creative process of building the future in the ways that call to our hearts and passions. It is so much more than living with or next to others. It is seeing ourselves in all the others and ourselves in them. It is what will save us as a race. It is what allows us to be triggered for our own growth, and at the same time, we are each the button pusher for the others. Community is not always easy, but is often profoundly fun and satisfying, for we all wish to be heard and belong on some level. Why must so many think of community as a commune or a dogma? It is just being human. The word unity is within community. A friend taught me that. It is the in-breath of life when we bring into us that which is rich and life-affirming, and the out-breath is a separation. Have we learned these past several months that separation divides us and breaks us down? That's all.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So this is the part where we just kind of breathe into that without, we try not to comment or compare, but just really feel into what the reader has shared with us. And thank you for that, Leanne. Would anyone else like to read?
All right.
Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
I'm unmuted. So, hello, everybody. Thank you. Hello. I often write in poetic format, not all the time. So, this is what came out today. To the soul of worship, of God, of source, the one of all that is, connection, for there can be no else. Let it be, let it go. Let it shine its rays of union upon all of life to come home again, more connected than before, more in love than before, well worn, polished from lots of use, timely wearings all weary gone, just smiles left in contented connection for the grace of life well lived.
Wow. Goosebumps. Thank you, Kim. Maybe one more if anyone else wants to share.
All right, I will share.
Thank you, Karen.
So much in today's time, when I'm looking at communities, I'm seeing an absence of love. Are we forgetting? Love is eternal and rich and full. Yet foolishness sets in the hearts of humans, and they gamble with love in ways they may never realize persecutes them. Express your love, dear ones. While you are here on earth, don't run from your own love. Don't let those you deeply love slip through your life's moments without expressing yourself. Set aside your pettiness, fears, small mindedness, obsessions, addictions, and fantasies, and allow the real unconditional love in for yourself, and allow yourself to share it with those you truly wish to. Don't play it safe when it comes to love. Honor the truth in your heart. Set your egoic ways aside. The heart knows the way, and here on earth, there really is a limited time to feel and express your love. Risk it all when it comes to love, because the only one who hurts in the end when you hold back love is you.
Mm. I think Dena's frozen for just a second. So I hope y'all were breathing that in. And Noelle has a short share as well.
Okay. So I'm just going to read part of mine because, let me see. I was thinking of playing Monopoly, and there was the community chest. And I always knew something good would come out when I picked up the yellow card. And sure enough, it never let me down. Doesn't mean I won the game, but the community chest is the funnest thing I remember about the game. So community, come into union as if we ever could be out of union. It's the greatest secret of all. When we get it, we will love, serve, and remember our one community. Thank you.
Mm. Mm. Just breathe that in.
We'll do one more writing if everyone is game. So once again, just remembering that we'll tap into that the Sacred Heart. It's kind of a press, 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 hold. And then we'll take a few breaths and then I'll drop another topic. So go ahead when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Take those couple deep breaths. And if you want to place your hand over your heart, and I love that heart breath, just imagining that your heart is opening and you're breathing right through your heart space. And you can feel that coolness on your chest as you breathe in, and you can feel that subtle warmth on your palm as you breathe out. And remember, the object is just to keep on writing until I ask you to stop. And you think you're done and just keep going. Even if it's, I'm done, I wish you would stop talking. Just keep on writing. So 2 more breaths, just staying present, available. And our next topic is trees. Trees. Another minute or two. And finishing. Are those your birds, Reina-Shay?
It might be. I'm on the back patio
Oh, perfect.
looking at the trees.
There you go.
And several random thoughts came to my mind during that. And I have a little feral cat, feral non-binary cat. I told her when she was a kitten, she liked to climb trees. And I told her about Jack and the Beanstalk. And she likes that name just fine. So her name is Jack.
Nice. Nice. So how did everyone do with the writing? Would anyone like to share? You can put it in the chat, raise your hand.
Just wave.
Just wave. Veronica. Thank you, Veronica. She's always first one out. Not always, but most of the time.
I've asked her to unmute. There we go.
No, it's just my extroverted nature. I try to hold back.
You just can't, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
So trees, my friends, such beauty, wisdom, and power in those mighty branches. I sit with them, I talk with them, I greet them as I walk by, just like I would another human. Oh yes, I'm aware others may think me crazy, but I don't mind. I've learned so much from trees and other plants. I can't even begin to explain here. I've learned of community, competition, mutual support, unconditional love, and most of all, had glimpses of God, or Gaia, the universe, whatever your name is for the power that flows through all. I like to call it the force. Trees are interconnected and interconnected to all of this. They have a worldwide web. They possess knowledge and understanding that humans are only beginning to comprehend. Well, most humans. I've always loved trees from childhood, but I now have a new understanding and connection with them. And I thank them all the time. May the force be with you.
Thank you, Veronica. That was amazing. Most of you, I think a lot of you know of Domenher in Italy, and Veronica has been studying with one of their plant masters. So she has that beautiful, unique little just perspective. So very beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else like to read? Michelle? There you go.
All right. Trees are life. Trees are history. Trees are breath. Trees are shelter. Trees are an amazing source of so much that is required for this population's sustainability. I'm so very disappointed in how they are abused. Forests, a community of trees, are being ravaged as human consumption for tree-related products continues to grow. Saying that consumption that impacts trees has reached an all-time high would be disingenuous because we humanity continue to surpass all prior record at alarming rates. If the tree community was a population, the acts against them would be genocide.
Wow. Thank you for that. Just take a breath. Thank you, Michelle. I think we have time for maybe one more. Reina, do we have to stop right at the top of the hour? Is there someone else coming on? Okay, so maybe one more. Karen?
Karen's actually up next, so I don't know if that's why she's raising her hand.
No. That's not why I'm raising my hand. I don't want to read my thing. I do just want to share. I'm sorry. I think Michelle, was it Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share that what came through me and what I wrote had the same theme, similar theme, and several phrases the same, which I feel is really beautiful to witness the connection. Thank you.
And that's really, I so appreciate you bringing that up, Karen, because this is what happens when we come in together and we go into our heart space. There's a thread, and maybe you talk about something completely different. I remember one night, I think the topic was dragonflies or ladybugs or something. And for some reason, there were 4 of us out of maybe 6 people that said the word groovy. Now, Veronica might say groovy, but most people, like maybe 1 in 10 people use groovy on a regular basis. But those themes and those patterns, they come up over and over when we do this work together, and you can really tap in to a beautiful space. So, as we're preparing to leave, I just invite you to, sit with yourself and tap into that space and do that heart breath and drop a topic for yourself. And Veronica, is the writing circle meditation up on the website?
You can answer, Veronica.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If you go to my website, you can do this meditation and you can pick a card and it will give you the topic. So I'll put it in the chat and then I'll try to find it on Facebook and we'll put it, it's evolving-door.com. So if you go on the meditation, it's a free meditation that you can do 24/7, and you can pick your own topic, or if want to pick a card, they just have a little, like 1 or 2 words on them. Then really it's just a place to start, and the object of the game is to not make it perfect, to not make it have to be pretty. It can be, and a lot of times it is, but just allowing yourself to just go into that heart space, and it's a beautiful thing that happens there. So I want to thank again Noelle for, oh my gosh, you're doing so many things, so many good things. And I am so honored to be a part of that in a small way. And Reina-Shay, I so appreciate you inviting me on, and everyone who showed up today. And Karen, what's coming up next? Or maybe Reina-Shay,
I'll share just a moment. Thank you so much for coming, Dena, and creating a sense of community here for this little hour. And I thought that was a wonderful writing experience, and the threads of ideas is evidence of how when we come together, even via Zoom, we create community. And so I'm very grateful for that and for you. Want to remind everyone, this is the Literary Hour, Words as Medicine for the World.